I propose we prioritize in 3 different sections, but here again, it's very up to you. It's very up to how much content do you have. But for me, the easiest way to prioritize the content is from top to bottom. I will put at the top the most important content, and then as a one giant column of sticky notes, the further down you go, the less important it is for your users. And I'm very, very strict about the one column. So it doesn't mean that on the final website it will be one column, but it means that this is supposed to be your priority. So usually when I do that with students or colleagues, they try to negotiate that. Like, yeah, but those two things should be the same category. It's like, yeah, they could, but at some point we need to take decisions. So here I'm very rational about taking the decision, like top to bottom, step by step, to force them a little bit to take decisions. So I propose kind of 3 types of content categories, but again, you can adapt this. I'm using the metaphor of when you're taking the plane. When you're taking the plane, you have 3 types of luggage. You have what's the luggage that you put in your handbag. Your handbag is the most important things you are going to fly with. You can keep it during takeoff and when you arrive. And usually here you will put your phone, you will put your boarding pass, you will put passports. So this is like top priority content for you. You need it all the time. Then we have cabin luggage. So cabin luggage, it's close to you, but you cannot use it during the whole flight. So if it's a long flight, there's like moments in the flight, if there's turbulence, for instance, or when you take off or when you land, you cannot use this. So this would be kind of interesting secondary content that is useful, but is still less important than top priority. And then you have checked luggage. So this is usually the content that goes on the full detail page. This is the content that you are going to use when you arrive. So usually when you fly, what you put is like, here is you put your underwear, you put on your clothes, all of that. Sometimes you might put some underwear in the cabin luggage, just one, in case they lose the one checked in. But that's the idea. I'm reading the chat. I should not. Someone is saying like Kondo-Marie approach. I really like that. So yeah, 3 types of priorities. So what I'm doing, most important content at the top. What will help user take decision? What will help them decide, do I want to continue my journey? Do I want to invest time in reading the full cooking recipe? Title, super important. I'm not going to read the recipe if I don't know what I'm going to cook. Picture, again, this is about food. You want people to see. Ratings, because social bias. I have a whole thing on cognitive biases, but basically ratings create this social bias where people are like, oh, actually, if it has a good rating, it means a lot of people enjoy the recipes, and the other way around. So ratings is very important, actually, when people decide if they want to continue like checking this cooking recipe or not. Categories and then a small summary. So again, this is the most important to maximum of users, and they need to see this early in their journey. So this is your hand luggage. Medium category comes in between. It's content that gets displayed a little bit later in the page, a little bit later in the journey, but it's still quite important to the user. It can also be supporting content of medium importance. You see, I still didn't put the ads in here. But yeah, like preparation time, costs, leftover ingredient steps. Then lower priority is your supporting content that is going to be interesting when you arrive at destination. That is going to be progressively displayed later. My ads, finally, to make marketing people happy. Reviews offer a related recipe. If the person is not happy about this recipe, we want to keep them on the website. So we offer some alternatives, things like that. So usually this is when it gets fun, because you end up with debates. You end up with not everyone agreeing on your team about the priorities. So building the content model is easy. It's easy to throw all the ideas of content on the page. The hard part is to decide what's the most important and what's the least important. And here usually my mantra, and it comes from one of my friends who says, don't bring emotion to a data fight. So Here, bring data. And if you want to bring data to such files, what you want to do is you want to do more research, another round of interview, surveys, or you want to do card sortings.